Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the A3U Review.
In this episode, we're going to take a look at MakeToys' remaster IronWill before it ships out. I think it ships out in the next week or so.
Yeah, and then after that, we're going to give you another look at the test shot for the FPcore Trianex Alpha. My name's Alex.
I'm Boris.
And you're watching the
A3U
A3U Review. So we're gonna first start off by taking a look at two figures, and they're right in front of us. One of them you've seen before, that's the MakeToys Remaster Cupola. And now we're gonna have a first look at IronWill.
That's right. The remaster IronWill is due out any day now. We had the luxury of receiving a final kind of test shot from MakeToys, so this is pretty much close to production. So we're gonna take a look at it in robot mode as well as in its alt mode to show off all the details and the colors. And then also I have it here beside Cupola so we can see the scale. We can see that they've actually scaled it very, very nicely.
Yes, they have. It goes quite well together. And for those who plan to get this one, I hope you have this one too, because you know it'll make a good pairing.
Yeah, that's right. And on first look, Alex, what do you think? Coloring, details, like how do you like this compared to the Cupola?
First of all, I think it looks really good. It looks really good, especially even for a test shot. I mean, like if this is what just the test shot looks like, I imagine, you know, they're gonna put a few tweaks here and there, but this already looks good to me. I like this one a little bit more than this one, mainly because it has a lot more beef to it. I mean, this is already a good figure, but this just looks like it's, he's like a stronger version of this one.
Yeah, I've always had an affinity for Hardhead because it's been more of a heavy artillery kind of a vehicle.
Yeah.
But in terms of, you know, this whole line in general, the features are very similar. Now you picked this up, right, Alex?
Yeah.
It's definitely got that same kind of nice, hefty, like, die-cast feel to it.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of die-cast in it. In fact, IronWill is actually slightly heavier,
he is heavier
than Cupola. I already thought Cupola had some good weight to him, but IronWill definitely weighs a little bit more, so it does feel a little bit more substantial that way. And it goes a lot with his bulk as well.
Yeah.
And it's funny because looking at it, Alex, there's just really a few places where they've bulked it up that really give it that full-on, like, you know, thickness that it really needs.
Yeah, but they just bulked it up in all the right places. Like, for example, the legs here. Even the thighs are a little bit bigger. As also the arms and the torso is a little bit thicker, but it's just the right amount. It's still quite proportionate, even though they added quite a bit of thickness to it.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, I love how the treads and everything too. If we could just take a you know, just kind of turn it around here. You know, when we look at the backs, you see a lot of the tread and everything is kind of in the back of his arms here. You also saw it in the front of his feet, and they're kind of like this rubber that's much like the Cupola's rubber.
Yeah.
That's on the tires.
And it's separated from it actually. And look at that. Look at that. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, they're actually working treads, which is
big
really awesome.
Big plus. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then just turn it back around here, just to see some of the details. So they've really gone into a lot of the detail. I love the little paint apps and the little reflective kind of
the little
clear
pieces.
Orange pieces. All in all, it very much homages the original cartoon as well as the toy very well, I think.
Yeah, I think they do a really good job with that. I mean, it's fully recognizable, and they basically made a very a classic looking basic toy into something a lot more dynamic. As you can see, all the posabilities all there, and he just looks a lot cooler.
Yeah, the guns I kind of like better than Cupola's guns. Cupola stuck with this red toy theme, which is cool. But I love the dual tone that you're given on hardheads. It really adds that little bit of high-end feel to its accessories. If you look around here, He's still got the open up chest here, right?
Oh
For
yeah.
the, sorry, I just popped the head off there by accident.
For
For the little power stats.
yeah.
Right, which is what we got on the cupola right here, right? I love showing that part off because it actually,
It's a great feature.
it's a great like nostalgia feature.
Yeah.
For sure. And in terms of the colors and the contrast and everything, I actually really like what's really come together here.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just enough of you know, the browns with the green, and then I love the dark gray that they put here to kind of accent everything.
Yeah, it's a good balance. I don't find any one color is overpowering the other. Like there's not too much of this or not too much of that. It's a good balance.
Yeah, and very earthy, which is
Yeah.
kind of how
A tank should be.
Yeah, exactly. How he should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's you know, we want to put this in alt mode and see.
Let's do it.
See what it looks like.
Yeah. So now we have them both in their alt modes, and wow, the IronWill is a pretty badass looking tank with all those weapons.
Yeah, it's nice, and all the actual treads are actually working well.
Oh yeah.
But you do have to make sure that it's kind of
It's
level
all pressed down, yeah.
for it to actually work properly. And then of course the treads can sometimes like just misalign a little bit.
Yeah.
So when you're transforming it, just make sure you're not slipping it out or whatever.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's pretty cool. It's got all the guns up
Yeah.
on it. You could take them off. You could put them on.
Yeah. I like it all on. It just looks like a more,
Badass.
you know, it's a tank, right?
Yeah. And of course, as usual, he sits in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Um,
He goes right in there. He fits perfectly.
yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, it does close
right in.
properly.
Yep.
As well when he's in there. And then the headmasters are actually, I mean, they're very much, you know, the same kind of configuration like you pointed out, Alex.
Yeah.
But they do have differences in both the design, the chest, and the tooling on the
Yeah.
mask, of course.
The whole aesthetic actually makes them look like two completely different robots, right? But when you transform them, you will see that
A lot of similarities.
it's a lot of similarities. And, you know, these head robots are so tiny that there's only so many ways that you can efficiently make it transform. So I don't blame them for keeping the same configuration.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, just in general, I like how this whole line, the transformation is really cool. And like I said, we're not doing a comprehensive transformation. There'll be other reviews out there that will cover that. But when we were transforming it, it's actually got some really cool little gimmicks. It's very similar to the cupola in how it's got some hidden goodies when you're actually transforming it that make you think a little bit. So it's really, really cool. And, you know, there's not any, you know, glaring missing things or holes anywhere when it's in alt mode or anything like that. As you can see, from back to front, it's actually pretty complete. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a great piece.
I think
to
this
add
is
to the remaster.
yeah, I absolutely agree. I think this is a very solid, a very tight-looking tank. The alt mode is great. The robot mode looks great. Got a lot of positive things to say about it. I mean, this is just the first impression, but I got no complaints.
Yeah, so definitely pick it up when you get a chance. Once it releases, I think in the next couple of weeks. Some people are getting next week. It's a very, very high quality and fun toy to play with, and I think scales very, very nicely with the rest of the Masterpiece series. So yeah, having said that, hopefully you can get your hands on one.
Yep, there you have it. That is our first look at the MakeToys Remaster IronWill. So now we're gonna look at the FPcore Trianex Alpha. And this might look familiar to you guys because we have talked about it in the past, but not like this.
Shiny.
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, this is kind of the final test shot. It's actually gonna be available soon. But yeah, what an amazing looking bot. The whole FPcore universe, in case you guys don't know, is all based on these Solarons or cores that fit inside these Core R units. And Trianix, you know, as stated by the name, Tri, has 3 of the Solarons.
Yeah.
So you can see 1, 2, 3. He actually makes use of it on his arms, which makes him look really, really cool.
It does.
It definitely gives him that beef, and that the design of it is. I really, really love how that integrates into the design.
Yeah, the design itself, even without the Solarons, it's quite outstanding because, first of all, this is actually one of the coolest robots I've ever seen. It just looks excellent. And then you add in these things, and then they also look very awesome because of it's all different colors. They all look very, very uniform, and they fit perfectly. It looks like a chest emblem, right? And these look like these shoulder armor, but like it has like an emblem on it. So that in itself has a very nice, a very cool rather aesthetic look to it.
Yeah, it totally does. And just in general, I mean, looking at like it from the back and everything, I love the aesthetic. It's got those little kind of these like exhausts for like maybe some sort of a jetpack. It's just a very well balanced, well-rounded figure. It's got a lot of good foot articulation. You know, it's just a whole bunch of fun little gimmicks. No, I'm not gonna reveal too much, but you know, I do want to kind of just quickly show you guys that even without the cores, you know, he can exist without that and still have this kind of cool look to his arm. You know what I mean? So it just offers a lot of like little like hidden little gems that you can play around with. And you know, the other part that's no secret to everyone now is that it actually, this is 3 vehicles that have combined to make the one bot. So it actually splits into 3 separate alt modes. So yeah, I mean, why don't we actually break it into the 3 alt modes so we can show you for ourselves, which previously we haven't actually had a chance to do. But now in this updated look at it, we're gonna finally get right into it.
So now we have the Trianex Alpha into the alt mode, and I should say alt modes because there are 3 vehicles. We have this trike type vehicle. This is some kind of heavy laser tank, and this is like mobile artillery with a shovel in the front. Like you can see the missile launchers here. So
a space rammer tank or something like that.
Yeah.
Excavation tank, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
I gotta say that this one's my favorite. I like the fact that it's a motorcycle type, trike type vehicle.
Me too. I was gonna say like the other 2 are kind of wacky.
They are wacky.
But you know, the inspiration it comes from is actually even wackier than this. So it's one of those very imaginative toys. And I mean, the cycle I think works because it not only looks like a cool little like tricycle, but it makes a little bit more sense to, I guess, you know, like in terms of a real world vehicle.
Yeah,
right,
it looks like
us.
this could exist, right? And plus, you know, he's exposed here, so which looks normal, but for a tank and for like this type of vehicle to expose the drivers doesn't seem practical. I mean, it is science fiction, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's right. The robot mode, I would say, kind of is much cooler than
It's the preferred mode.
The alt modes.
Yeah, it is, like you said, wacky. But I gotta say that FPcore did a pretty decent job in, like, you know, getting 3 alt modes out of it. I mean, that in itself is a task.
It is, and it's a lot of fun. And I think that's what we got to remember when we look at these Solarons, or the cores that they talk about. You know, in the story, the cores go in a unit called the Core R units.
Okay.
And they're kind of like exoskeletons. So in a sense, this is kind of the same kind of lore that they're trying to create. The actual main robot is actually these little Solaron guys, right? Even with Steel Core, the full robot was actually just an exosuit for the core in the middle, which is called Steel.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, they brought along this theme really nicely, and I love how Trianix actually incorporates all 3 of the Solarons into its body. That way making it make sense to split into alt modes.
Yeah.
That are all 3 alt modes.
Yeah.
Now something to remember is this isn't really a combiner. A lot of people have been calling it a combiner, but it's actually not, because a true combiner, in my opinion, in this kind of a collecting platform would be, these things will be able to transform into their own individual robots.
Yeah.
They actually don't transform into their own individual exoskeletons or exobots, but they make hell of a cool little like playable gimmick.
Yes.
So the playability of this is actually just really cool. You'll find yourself wanting to transform it into these weird little vehicles all the time. This is pretty much close to the final production. I love all the chrome that's going on here. The coloring is really, really nice on the Trianex Alpha. Fans Project has also made another version of this kind of colored after Diatlas, and it's basically retooled on the same concept. But that's another look for another day. But there you have it. This is a good look at the upcoming FPcore universe, Trianix Alpha. And if you guys really like this, this is actually a great opportunity to let you guys know that there is a contest going on. Go to FPcore.com, and on the front page there, you'll see a contest for the chance to win a Trianex Alpha package. So go over to FPcore.com to read all the details. It's a good prize packet. Of course, includes Trianex Alpha and a whole bunch of other goodies.
Ooh.
And all you have to do is count the number of solarons that they have in this like little clear cube thing. I thought it was pretty cool idea. So yeah, don't wait. The contest ends March 1st, 2016. So get over there for your chance to win this guy. You just gotta be the first person to answer the question correctly.
Good luck to everybody.
Good luck.
And that's our episode for today. We hope you enjoyed it.
Now, I know we missed the kit bashing that we promised this episode, but of course we had some more freshly squeezed third-party stuff like the IronWill and the Trianix. So we haven't forgotten about it. Next episode we will jump on to the kit bashing, and we'll be taking a look at the Unite Warriors Defensor with Hasbro Defensor and the SDCC Devastator versus the Unite Warriors Devastator versus the Hasbro Devastator.
That is going to be pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
Yep, so if you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, Aegis3and Up, and also follow us on Twitter at Aegis3and Up. Also, by the way, we got Instagram, so make sure you follow us on Instagram as well, Instagram.com/Aegis3and Up. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.